Hello Internet and welcome to Historical Headlines for the 21st of December. Rome has a game of musical chairs, because what we are talking about is the year of 4 emperors, 69 AD. No snickering in the back over the year number, please. This was the year where Emperor Nero, being a rather unpopular fellow, had committed suicide after a public trial found him to be an enemy of the state, and a rebellion was brewing against him. This left the Julio-Claudian dynasty without any kind of heirs, and the stability of early Rome was thus threatened. However, the leader of the rebellion, a certain General Galba, who had been governor of Spain, and who had previously been one of the former Emperor Claudius's great generals, was immediately enthroned as emperor, since he was, well, the most powerful military man at the time. Unfortunately, things did not all go well, as our time-traveling correspondent, Tim Sageson, will now let you know about. Thank you, Studio. As you know, the Emperor Nero had become ever more unpopular with the powerful senatorial classes after his partying and also social reforms had transferred more and more wealth and power away from the Senate and into the hands of the plebeians. Unfortunately, as the scandals around his administration continued, he even started losing support from those particular classes as well as from the military, and as Gaius Julius Vindex launched his rebellion in Germany, it seemed that the days of Nero was lost. While Vindex was defeated, in the end, Nero was declared an enemy of state and committed suicide before any attempts could be taken against him by the angry populace. Now, this of course left the throne open, as Nero had no heirs of any kind, and made an end to the Julio-Claudian dynasty that has otherwise so successfully ruled our city and the empire since the beginning of the Principate of Augustus. However, the one that was clearly in line to take the throne was Galba, governor of Spain and high general of Emperor Claudius. And we are severely fortunate that I have in fact managed to land an interview with Emperor Galba. Your Majesty, you have become the emperor in the midst of a general rebellion. Do you have any suggestions as to how you intend to restore peace, as here in Rome, of course, your rival Marcus Salvius Otho is conspiring against you, and the leader of the German legions, Vitellius, is leading a rebellion against you?
I am an old man now, but I would assume that with me in the imperial purple, all I need to do is to stamp out a few bits of rebellion. Vitellius is not the best of generals, and Otho is a useless fob, and this will definitely lead to
It seems Emperor Galba has been assassinated. What a terrible development for Rome. And the man behind it appears to have been his rival Otho, senator and rich guy. All hail the Emperor Otho, master of Rome and the Empire. Lord High Emperor Otho, with this removal of your previous evil and destructive rival, what will you do against the rebellion stirring in Germany from General Vitellius?
Well, I am a lover, not a fighter. I do not think I will have any chance to fight him in war. I will try to create a peace treaty. I will continue the reforms that will lead to a happier and more contemplative Rome, one that is not in the grips of such civil war and such chaos as was the case when the evil Galba held the throne. So I will suggest that Vitellius marries my daughter and becomes my heir, and in the meantime, I will lead Rome into a new era of
Yes. This interview seems to be going not quite as well as you could have imagined, because it looks like Emperor Otho has also been assassinated, as the useless fob he is. All hail the victorious General Vitellius, Emperor of Rome and leader of the Rhine army. Emperor Vitellius, now you have the chance to lead Rome into a glorious new age of stability and progress. All you have to do is remove the one threat to your throne, General Vespasian, the leader of the Levant army and suppressor of Jerusalem. Emperor Vitellius, do you have anything to say to us at this moment?
I do not fear Emperor Vespasian. His troops are useless Middle Easterners, and mine is the veteran legionnaires that are used to hold back the savage German troops on the Rhine. There is no way I can be defeated at this point, and I will become the new Augustus, leading Rome into a glorious future of world domination and
Right. All right then. My Lord Emperor Vespasian, Emperor of Rome, leader of the city and Grand Lord of the armies, having conquered the city of Rome and removed all of the old detritus of this particular year, all the evil people who try to claim your honest and rightful title. Do you have anything to say to our listeners? And perhaps make it quick, as I really don't have the patience for yet another corpse on my shoes.
Yes, I do in fact have something to say. I never trusted Vitellius. I didn't believe he would be a good emperor. All I can say to that is I deplore the fact that I had to use military force to kick him out. But it proves once again that the true future of the empire is with men of good standing and good morals. Of course, that this should come out of the East is perhaps a surprise, but it just shows the strength of the Roman Empire, that we are all of one, that it is more than just the city, that it's more than just the earlier provinces, that the entire realm is now the thing that it needs to be, and that we will go into a glorious future that will see Rome rise from this chaos into an era of stability and glory. Thank you.
And thanks to you, Emperor Vespasian, it is nice to see that Rome is finally in the hands of someone capable and stable after this year of complete chaos, which will probably forever be known as the Year of the Four Emperors. But with Rome back in a stable and successful dynasty, it is time for me to say, back to the studio. And thank you to Tim Saitson. Back to nudity, I see, which is probably very appropriate when interviewing successive emperors of Rome. However, nonetheless, the year of four emperors, 69 AD, the year where the Julio-Claudian dynasty finally collapsed as Nero managed to make himself unpopular with anyone, and as we heard, several emperors replaced each other within the year, finally ending up with Vespasian, who ruled for 10 years and was replaced by both his sons before yet another ending of a dynasty occurred. However, that one was a far more easily dealt with situation. What you can say about the year of four emperors is, of course, that it harkened forward, if you will, to the civil wars and the eternal changes of the imperial purple that would become so endemic and so weakening to Rome in the 3rd and 4th centuries, and perhaps also shown back a little bit to the civil wars 100 years earlier with Julius Caesar and the early days of Augustus and Mark Antony. However, it also showed just how vital and powerful the Roman Empire was at this time. It's a side note, perhaps, that this was the time where it actually became an empire rather than the principate of the early imperial rulers under the Julio-Claudian dynasty, who at least tried to surround themselves with republican trappings. After Vespasian, it became far more useful to just be the emperor and the autocrat of Rome. No matter how much the previous emperors had also been that, they have at least tried not to seem that way. However, the point I was willing to make was that despite this internal chaos with four emperors and successive civil wars, it did nothing to harm Rome outside of its borders. None of their enemies tried to do anything in this particular time. So powerful was the Roman military and just Roman hegemony over Europe and the Mediterranean at this time. So, this has been the historical headlines for the 21st of December. Rome has a game of musical chairs with its imperial throne. I hope you have all enjoyed this. There will now be a hiatus of this series into the beginning of 2019 as I work to build up a few long-form videos that I can publish, and perhaps also tweak this format a little bit, hopefully with the adages of a couple of more interviewers and correspondents who are not actually just me doing silly voices. Until next time, this has been Historical Headlines, and until next time, I have been the Sage, and I wish you all a very happy day.